countdown.
Graphing a countdown button.
Homie, how's it going? How you doing today?
Hello.
Yeah.
Delighted you.
And I made the mistake of having this in here right now.
Oh, we'll just wait like 5 minutes whilst this
Okay, everything should be working now. And I'm gonna restream things, right? I could do that. Let me just launch the game real quick. I should probably check my encoder settings. They should be the same though. Streaming. Yeah, I'm at 720p. Yep, that's good. 720p, 60 FPS. I'm starting the game right now. I'm just gonna say, once I have this thing set up and everything's running... Actually, no, I'm gonna try and focus this film. I would also really like to get my fucking new chair set up at some point. Yeah, fair. Yeah. And not nearly as important as the dojo, of course. Yeah. Exactly. Dojo's love, dojo's life. That's why I've been absent from the dojo for a few weeks now. Yeah, been struggling with school and in general, but yeah, I've had it rough. Give me a sec. By the way, we all are currently muted on the stream until everything kicks off. And I'm trying to start the game. I had the splash screen, but I'm not actually putting it to the game right now. I'm really hoping this is gonna finish off. Yeah, audio's laggy though. My game's up, by the way. Who should I spectate? What are we doing in general? Stream's gonna be on in a sec. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5. Alright.
Hey, hello everybody.
Hello. I think I had myself unmuted on Twitch actually. Well, the setup was messy. Anyways.
Yeah,
Hello everyone.
Let's check we got audio on Twitch.
Yeah, I'll do that. Give me a sec.
I'll stream for you span so you don't have to wait for the delay of the stream.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Audio's working.
Okay. Alright, I'll watch Normie's stream. Put that on this. You hop into training mode. And one of you start on Raider, and the other one's going to be doing the counter. So Stag, you go Raider, Normie, you go. Start off with Blackbriar.
Blackbriar?
Yeah. Oh, the rep 70 Blackbriar, great. Okay, so first off, before we start the, I guess, Stag, if you could stream the, I've put a YouTube video in a dojo staff. You can stream that quickly. Show the people. This is what we're doing today. Is if you are struggling with Raider and Orochi, today is the session for you. We're going to be covering some general things that you can do against these characters, and then we're going to be covering specific, and then we're going to go with some specific things that each individual character can do against them. So if you want to, I've prepared a meme intro.
Give me a sec.
If you open that, play that YouTube video,
I'm
right, you can
working on it.
stream it, I guess.
Hang on. Yeah. I'm working on it.
It's okay.
I'm struggling with OBS right now.
It's just because I'm working on making a guide video as well, so I've been like looking into all this stuff, and easy enough. So I thought I'd just share a preview of the crappy meme that I've made to start off the thing with.
Just open the window capture.
Yeah.
My second monitor just shut itself off.
Nice.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Technical difficulties. For some reason, my second monitor just decided to stop working. It just completely powered off.
I can't believe you have this mascot with.
God, what the fuck happened?
I'll just put it on your main monitor, and that you can minimize the game for a second.
Yeah, I'll do that. Give me a sec. Ah, crap. Sorry about this. There's OBS. Oh wait.
I can't believe. Look at this shield. It looks so cool, and then there's just a blue gem at the bottom.
Yeah, it's really weird how they put
You
blue
really
gems
have
on all of them.
Ruin it for me, like.
They do that with a lot of things. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a cool, outfitty looking thing, and then stick a random point color on it somewhere.
Jesus Christ.
Hey there, how's it going? We are just waiting on Stag getting a streaming thing ready. Although if you want, I guess I could send the stream key over to Normie, and then Normie could do it instead. But
I mean, I would have to set up my own thing as well. That's stupid.
oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh my god. Give me a sec. God, this is messed up. Holy hell. Why did my fucking second monitor just stop working?
Oh, you can just minimize the game and do it on your main monitor for a moment.
Yeah, I'm trying, but everything's still where my second monitor is supposed to be.
I see.
Oh, you can if you press Alt Tab and then Windows, press the Window key and then the like arrows, you can move it onto the screen that it should be on.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good call. Thank you. There we go.
That's what I do.
The mean one.
And
Imagine
now.
not being a one monitor gamer like me.
Add
Is that to improve
This
your
one.
focus, Normie?
window
No.
capture.
I just have when you're focusing, you don't even see the corners of your wall monitor.
Yeah.
When you're
Fair enough.
focusing to react, that is. I don't know about focusing on anything else.
Goes below the logo.
I guess you're focusing on the corners of your monitor.
Yeah, I mean, I have my laptop as a second monitor.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. How's it going? You almost there, Stag?
He's doing it.
Yeah, it's going. It's going.
Hey, there we go. Is this you?
No, why Sans? Okay. Had to ruin it at the end.
Alright.
Yeah, if that's ever happened to you, today is the session for you. We are going to be teaching you how to deal with, finger quotes, spam, and deal with these characters in general. We're going to start off with Raider because, well, we've got Raider here. And we'll do like some general stuff, and then we'll go on to character-specific things, and I will try and remember everything that I have some of it written down for.
What I have to say as well, midway through.
Yeah, of course. And normally, interrupt me anytime with anything you want to do. Okay, so we'll start with the basic mix-up the Raider has, as we probably all know. And Stag, you can just listen to me and do the things as I'm saying them, essentially.
Yes. That's
is
fine.
the heavy or heavy into storming tap. So he can throw a heavy, and he can soft feint into a storming tap or a guard break. Or he can just let the heavy go.
Just do like a bunch of the main
Yeah, just do a bunch of them. If you sit yourself on regen, then
I'll just put them on off. There we go.
so he can chain into his hyper armored heavies. He's got the mix up, which is
Not great.
into the top storming tap, is unreactable to pretty much, well, to everybody. Nobody's got reactions to react to the top soft feint. And
They don't react to it, and they react to something else.
exactly, they react to something else. They can react to flash or any other thing, but essentially you're not reacting to this mix-up. And if it wasn't just his heavies, he also can have act as that mix-up from unblockable. So he's got his neutral zone, which is unblockable, and it. As well as the neutral zone. After the neutral zone lands, he can chain into a chain zone, or into any of his other chains. Or you can soft feint them into storming tap, and
Well, yeah,
so
I
on.
should
So I mean,
probably-
you probably all are familiar with this mix-up. This
The
is
universal chain of you can do everything from everything.
Yeah.
yeah. He goes from his first from storming tap as an opener, so he's got 3-hit chains of all thick combos. So he can go from storming tap into heavy into light, or into a heavy into storming tap, into so on, so forth. Chain everything to everything. So he's got a lot of options, but each individual one pretty much boils down to four different things. He can let the heavy go, he can soft feint to storming tap, he can soft feint to a guard break, or he can hard feint it, and to counter something like a dodge attack, for example. So basically, you have to. Those are the options that you have to think about. And if you've not got a dodge attack or anything else to do, then it's really only 3 options: side heavy, top storming tap, or soft feint to guard break. So basically, if you do one thing to the standard things that you have to counter these things will lose to all of the other options. So if, for example, you parry the side heavy, you will lose to the storming tap soft feint, and you'll also lose to soft feint to guard break. And if you try to parry the top storming tap, you will eat the side heavy, if he does the side heavy, and you'll also eat the soft feint to guard break if he goes for that. And finally, the thing that counters the soft feint to guard break would be a light attack or some kind of low guard break vulnerability option. So, for example, you can do your bash, or do your bash, because that's going to be the thing that won't have any other options here. And that's the bash is going to lose to just letting the heavy go, and lose the storming tap, if depending on, I guess, the timing. Yeah. So basically, you've got the three things, and if everybody calls it a 50-50, it's not 50-50. It's a 3-3-3 technically. So, what can you get? What are your punishes if you get? So that's I guess we'll switch over to, I don't know. I'll not bother with the spreadsheet yet because I'm not going to dive into the numbers. But from a heavy parry, you get you might get 12 damage thereabouts. The Raider is going to hit you. The option if you parry the heavy, he's going to be getting a small amount of damage.
Yeah,
if he
does.
He's going to get feint to guard break, but the other option that will hit you, the storming tap, isn't very much damage. So you're basically trading a smaller reward for you for a smaller risk, because if you go to parry the storming tap, then you're going to be eating you can be eating the side heavy, which is more damage. So essentially, when you're looking at this mix-up, you can choose whether you're going to go riskier or safer for going for the bigger punish, but also potentially eating more damage. So that's something to keep in mind. And if you're seeing this Raider, essentially you pretty much always want to go for something that counters the mix-up. If you sit there and just wait for it, the best case scenario is you're going to block something, but you'll be able to counter a guard break. But you don't get any damage from countering a guard break unless you do something like interrupting it with a light attack or a bash. And if you block something, they're all enhanced. So he's gonna be able to continue his mix-up, and he's gonna carry on, and you're gonna lose some health from chip damage, which is not inconsiderable from the side heavies. If you block the storming tap, it's only like 3 damage, I think. Chip damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, 3. But if you block the side, it's about 5 or 6, depending if it's a chain heavy or a neutral heavy.
Wait,
So then that's
do finisher top heavy. Should be like 8. No, 7.
No, it's
I
5,
think
6,
it's
7.
probably 7, yeah. Because the finish top heavy is 32 damage, right?
Chain top heavy
6.
does 6. Chain
6,
6, finish has 7.
Do a finisher top heavy again. It should deal 36 damage.
No, I think it's 32, isn't it? Oh,
36.
you're right. No, it is 36. God damn. Yeah, big. I forgot about that because they if all the punishes have changed, you only really normally get the chain heavy off it, not the. And of course, if it's the zone, well, you can't block the zone anyway, so you have to make a read on parrying it. But essentially, when the Raider throws a heavy at you, you have to be thinking, okay, it's time for me to make a read and do something active against one of the options that the Raider can throw. So we talked a little bit about the risk and reward, in that you only get a heavy parry if you parry the side heavies. But I want to talk about the chain zone. A lot of people have been talking about how the chain zone has very high damage, and it's true. The chain zone does 38 damage, so it's a really big hit, especially compared to other comparable hits. But you can get more damage off it as a punish than just a heavy parry. So normally, if you parry it, you're only going to get heavy parry punish. But the chain zone, if you dodge on the right timing, you can always get a guard break on it. So if you're in a 1v1 situation with the Raider and he throws a chain zone and you predict that he's going to go for the chain zone, dodge and guard break, and you will get more damage. You'll also get more, if you dodge in general, you also will dodge the storming tap. So whilst you don't necessarily get a punish, you then you don't take any damage from that. So when you're running into this mix-up, dodging it is actually quite safe. In terms, it only loses to one of the 3 options, but the soft feint to guard break will catch a dodge. But it doesn't give you much reward if you're doing it against his regular chain heavies, because he can carry on chaining after both of the options. But if you do it, his finisher, either his finisher heavy or the chain zone, it's always a good idea to dodge it and go for the guard break if you're in a situation where you can actually punish a guard break. If you're in a team fight, then you might want to parry it because you get auto parry and you can't necessarily punish guard break attempts. But in general, you get much more damage guard breaking, dodge and guard break the chain zone. And I was doing a little bit of maths on how much the average damage of each option is. So we're looking at the chain zone and does 38 damage. If you try and parry the top, you're going to eat 38 damage, but you're going to get roughly a 24 damage parry punish if it's Storming Tap, but you're also going to eat 24 damage with a soft to guard break. So the average for that is you lose about 12, slightly over 12 damage on average if you make between those three options. But if you're looking at the dodge to guard break option, you parry the sides, well, you gain 12 damage on parry, you lose 12 damage on a Storming Tap, you also lose 24 damage on a soft to guard break, so that's going to be losing 8 health on average. If you're against the chain zone and you always dodge, it's a 50-50 between the raiders letting the zone go or letting I guess it's
Oops.
let's say they all have even probabilities. The actual average damage, you actually average out on neutral damage because the chain zone is never going to hit you, so you're not going to take 38 damage. He's only going to do 12 damage. He's doing 24 damage if he gets the guard break, but you're getting 24 damage roughly if you get the guard break on him, and he's not getting any damage from the Storming Tap. He just carries on chaining it. So even though the chain zone is very high damage, if you go for the option where you dodge it, you won't ever get hit by it. So the overall damage lowers out. Obviously, if you dodge it every time, your opponent's going to pick up on it and he's going to start guard breaking you instead. But then you essentially turn it from a mix-up of a guard break or a dodge. So that can help quite significantly. There was another bit that I wanted to mention with regards
There is
to
actually
that.
a few things I'll mention meanwhile.
Oh yeah,
Which
Go ahead.
is a few tips against it. Okay, first of all, obviously mix up your way of defense, dodge, parry, block, whatever. But important notes for the chain zone. So hit me with chain zone.
Mhm.
Do not dodge in this direction. Do
Yeah.
not dodge to the right. It will never work unless you do it super late, and even then it's kind of dangerous
yeah,
like that.
that's a good point.
So dodge into the zone, not away from it. So this way, to the left. Obviously, don't try to CC block things unblockable. Also, very important, people get overwhelmed by Raider because so many options. The guy never loses stamina. You can just attack forever.
Mm.
Just try to stay calm, and instead of thinking of when's the offense gonna end, just remember that you're losing 12. If you are careful, you're losing 12 HP per attack, and that resets your chances of being able to defend yourself again. So biggest tip I can give is just try to stay calm when making reads against the Raider, because if you panic, you're just gonna mess up every read. You're just gonna eat like 100 million damage.
Yeah, and note with the chain zone, even if you're in heavy hit stun, you can always dodge the chain zone. So you can land a heavy on him first, and then you're still gonna be able to dodge it and get the guard break. There's no scenario where you're facing the chain zone from something that the Raider in a 1v1 situation where you can't dodge and get a guard break. If
Oh,
you
also,
No,
do not
I'm
interrupt
missing
the
it.
zone.
yes,
Yeah.
you cannot interrupt the zone. So that's
Well, you delayed it there.
Yeah, if he buffers the zone from anything, you will not be able to interrupt it. So you won't be able to interrupt that or the Storming Tap. So going for interrupts on Raider is very risky, unless something like happened like that. You've got a crushing counter, which allows you to beat one of the options. But yeah, in general, unlike characters like Janhu or JJ, you don't want to try and interrupt Raider. Not just because of the hyper armor, but also because he's got frame advantage. The only time, actually no, you can't. It doesn't even work with that. So you can use bashes to interrupt. Bashes work quite well, but you still are not going to be able to get any of them to hit before his chain zone hits you if you're in hit stun from a previous attack. So that's not really an option. So if you light attack into the chain zone, for example, you can hit the light attack into the chain zone. So if you hit him with a light opener and then chain zone, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not interrupting that. So that is not an option for you. So, but that also means that the mix-up itself is a little bit simpler. In a way, having fewer options to think about can be helpful when you're against a character. Okay, so we've talked about the general tips for Raider and the chain zone. Now let's talk about. Sorry, I just saw a message in voice text. We're going to cover. We can talk about teamfight stuff. Actually, we'll talk about teamfight stuff in a bit when it comes to Orochi in particular, because there's a specific tip there. But this Raider stuff mostly counts in 1v1s. We're just talking about like what options you have that beat what. Okay, so right, we've now. The reason I asked Noi to pick Blackbriar is because Blackbriar has a lot of other options, defensive options you can use. So those dodging and guard breaking and parrying and blocking, those are all things that everybody can do. Each individual character has their own specific tools that they can use as well. So Blackbriar has a really good mix in terms of options you can use against Raider, has a really good set of choices. So first one that is the obvious one is the flip. So this works on any of them. Go ahead and do the mix-up. If you throw the zone, you get flipped for 24 damage. If you throw this tap, you're going to get flipped for 24 damage. Stag, put your health on regen, and that way we can see the damage that gets dealt to you. It's always better when it's on regen than. The tap gets flipped as well. The only option that this has that Raider loses. In fact, if Raider feints his zone into a light attack from a different direction, for example, which I mean they can do, it's just not optimal. The flip is going to catch that as well if you do it on the right timing. Like it's quite a late.
Yeah, you have to flip pretty late.
But yeah, when it comes to
borderline, like impossible to do. You have to mess up the reaction to the normal heavy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, don't worry about it. But essentially, I think you can also, even if you get hit by a heavy opener, you can. I think you can also flip the chain heavy or chain zone.
That's not a zone.
That was a heavy. Right, but
Yeah,
just go heavy into heavy, and then flip the heavy.
Oh, okay. I don't think I can do that.
No, you just did.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay.
It's a bit rough because if you have to input the all guard at a specific timing, otherwise it just won't register because you're in his zone.
Yeah. So you have to wait. You can't input input all guards whilst you're in hit stun in the same way as you can do with other attacks. But essentially, regardless of what the Raider does, you always have the option to do a flip. And this basically turns his mix-up into a 50-50, which has very, very even odds. Because if he gets a guard break on you, which is the only thing that counters it, that's 24 damage that he gets. Well, I guess he can get a wall splat for 27 damage if you've got a wall nearby, and also stamina damage, so that's pretty good. But if there's no wall, he is risking, like, his reward is 24 damage, but the risk that he's facing is also 24 damage from any of his options. So that can, and essentially, if those are the only things that he's doing, that turns the mix-up into even odds, right? If your options are 24 damage and his options are 24 damage and it's 50-50, that means on average you will come out with an even amount of damage. He has slightly more health than you, so you're gonna have to gain health otherwise from doing something else. But just on its own, the flip turns it into a sort of absolutely balanced 50-50, and that works, of course, on the unblockable, or it works on the regular heavy version of the mix-up. So that's one option. Obviously, you lose the feint to guard break. Now, the other option that Blackbriar has is his superior block lights.
Yeah.
So you can do this against the side heavies or the top ones. I recommend doing it against the sides. Then, oh yeah, of course. Well, I didn't really want to talk about the backstepping lights.
Yeah,
but,
that's why I was laughing.
Yeah, because you don't get any damage from that either. It's very safe because you can't feint into parry those things. But essentially, with this one, whenever you're doing a crushing counter, you're risking the Raider hard feinting and then parrying your attack. So do that for us, Stag.
If you can. Go on, I believe in you.
There we go.
Let's go.
That's not the punish,
There we
but
go.
I'm just doing it for the fucks.
All right, and the punish the Raider gets is a top heavy for 27 damage. So if he catches you, it's quite a significant punish. But if you are doing it on the side heavies, well, then you're only risking 12 damage from the Storming Tap. That's the only option it won't beat.
I fell asleep.
It'll beat the Feint to Guard Break for 12 damage for yourself, and if he throws the heavy on its own, that's also 24 damage. And again, I'm pretty sure you can use the crushing counter even if you've been hit by a heavy opener. So even if you're in heavy hit stun,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, there we go. So this, again, this turns it into a mix-up between does he feint into parry, does he let the Storming Tap go, or does he I guess let it go and just get hit by it, or feint to guard break to catch your. So if you're against your Raider in his neutral offense where he's not using the unblockable, having these two options, the tap or the crushing counter, is really valuable because essentially you've got two versions where you can set him to where he has to think about feinting to neutral. And obviously, if he feints to neutral, then he loses any frame advantage and he loses a bit of stamina. And the only thing, if he doesn't actually go for the parry, then if you just did a flip, then he also doesn't get anything from feinting to neutral. So having multiple options that the Raider has to think about as well makes it more likely that you're going to get a correct read, a correct guess, essentially, if you can call it a guess. So a lot of these defensive tools we're looking at are going to be ways of covering multiple of the Raider's options and making him have to re-evaluate his mix-up. Something else that Blackbriar has, before we move on from Blackbriar, is he also has his 4 dodge heavy, which has crushing counter on it.
No.
This, yeah, go for it. I mean, it beats the Storming Tap, and it does 24 damage. And if he feints a guard break, he's going to be eating 20 damage.
Okay,
so
this is stupid. Don't do this.
No, it's genuinely a decent option.
No, it's terrible. Don't do this. Trust me.
Why?
Trust me, I'm a comp player. Just don't do this.
Okay.
For like, you want people to love your knife? Don't do this. Not allowed.
I mean,
it's illegal. You get
it's illegal. What?
if you do that.
You get banned if you do it. Okay, because nobody can handle it.
Yes, it's like might as well be banned and comes in.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to do a crushing counter and you're going to crushing counter in top guard, use his 4 dodge heavy because, again, you can use it after even heavy hit stun, and it does more damage if he feints a guard break, and it's less risky because obviously it only gives him a 12 damage heavy parry if he goes for it. I think he can also dodge attack it as well if he was. It's easier to parry, but it's not like super easy to parry. I mean, if they're not expecting it, and because people very rarely use that move for its crushing counter properties, you might as well.
What's that timing?
I have to literally do it. Like I have to buffer it.
Yeah, it's got a slower startup.
Do a side dodge tap.
Okay. No. Okay, Raider just randomly changed.
Okay, I can do it on the reaction to red if I buffer, if I react super fast.
Yeah, so the
Never gonna
startup
check
on this is slower than the crushing counter lights. If your guard is in the same direction, if your guard is in the same direction for a crushing counter light. If you have it from neutral, I think it's actually the same startup. Actually, let me just quickly double check the.
I haven't played From in a while. I'm really
It does
rusty.
start up into what it does have a 100 ms startup as well. So even though Normie says people will lose respect for you, if you're playing Black
Okay, Normie. I see how it is.
What?
Oop, fine. See
That turnaround.
So yeah, I guess those are the. This is also Blackprior's most damaging option that punishes a soft feint to guard break in general. So if you're even if you're against the chain unblockable and you see and you think he's going to feint to guard break, you can use this forward dodge heavy, and that will do. It will not only beat the storming tap, but it'll also beat his feint to guard break with quite a lot of damage as well. So in general, it's quite a nice move to use. Yeah, it does. It does have the same startup actually as a slightly slower start than. Okay, it starts 100 ms into the dodge, and then it has 100 ms startup to crushing counter. So technically, it's got a 200 ms startup, but that's the same as if you switch guard into a crushing counter anyway. So it's about as the same window for switching guard and using a crushing counter light. So genuinely, I think it's quite a good move that people don't utilize. All right, so we've talked about crushing counter and flip. Can you switch over normally to Conqueror, please?
Oh my god. No, man. The really good characters.
Conqueror, yeah.
Conjugator.
Chunk, yeah. Here we
So
go.
the reason, obviously, the flip is unique to Blackprior, but crushing counter lights are on multiple characters. So you have, if you're playing Blackprior, Kyoshin, Warlord, Valkyrie, Highlander, you can all use crushing counter lights. Is anybody I've missed? Tiandi can use his crushing counter dodge lights in exactly the same way. It works if you've got superior block dodges like Zhanhu, you can also use them in a similar fashion, although it's a bit wonky if you buffer your dodge attack, you might end up beating a guard break. We'll talk about dodge
I
attacks
pick
a little
Raider
later.
again, right?
Yeah, you're going Raider again.
Okay.
So the crushing counters work for multiple characters, obviously. Right. Next one, we have there's two sort of options which Conk has that multiple characters have, and one option that Conk has that only Conqueror has, and makes Conqueror have a very, in terms of damage, favourable mix up against at least the heavy. You've got favourable answer to the heavy opener mix up, or the chain heavy mix up. So we'll start with the first one off. Is the full block. So just the regular full block. You can full block on reaction to seeing his heavy opener, and there we go, boom, 20 damage. Although Stag has turned his health off again, so we can't see the damage. But your health and stamina on regen, Stag, and just in general, it's better. That obviously also beats the Storming Tap if he goes for the Storming Tap feint. I don't think loses the soft feint to guard break. I don't think it beats the. You can use it in chain if you get hit by a heavy beforehand, but
No.
Nope.
no. Okay, because Conquerors has quite a slow startup, but other characters can. I think. Let me just double check my values for hit stun. Essentially, the recovery to go into full block counts as recovery to attack, which for medium hit reaction is 800 milliseconds. Raider has, I think he's got a standard 200 ms chain link for his heavies. You've got 400 ms to get into your or your full block. You're not going to be able to get into it fast enough if you've got slow starting up full block like Conqueror, so you can't use it out of his chains. But again, it's a good option against his neutrals. It only loses to soft feint to guard break.
I hate
The next thing, pardon?
I hate pre-dodgers.
The next thing, I mean, this works also for Warlord and Kyoshin and Valkyrie's full block also works. If you've got a full block, you can use it to beat. Basically, again, it works similar to Flip on his regular heavies. Beats everything except feint to guard break.
Nice, Molly! Sorry.
Against the zone, obviously, the zone is going to be beating you can't full block an unblockable, so that's not going to work. What you can do against the unblockable is dodge bash. So Conk obviously has a dodge bash. It works against his regular heavies as well. In fact, if he goes into soft feint and he soft feints a stormy tap and tries to chain with his hyper armor, you're still going to bash him out of it. Most of the time, if you do it early, I don't think the Raider can feint and dodge and get a guard break if you do it early enough.
If you can even delay it, he still won't be able to.
Yeah. So dodge bash is very safe against Raider, and in general, because you don't have to worry about trading with his hyper armor. So dodge bashes, and the characters that have dodge bashes are Scent, obviously. Sorry, not Scent. Conk, obviously. Lawbringer's dodge bash. Goki's got a side dodge headbutt. Gladiator's got one as well, although it doesn't give you any damage, so it's not necessarily the best choice of dodge bash. I mean, I guess it's safe. It's just you don't get much reward for it. So in terms of if you look at the averages of damage, you're not going to get a huge amount of damage from it. I can see the light spam going on here. Amazing.
Admiring the 800 MS side.
Oh,
And I messed them up.
actually 900 MS.
Yeah, it's 900 MS. Okay, lag.
All right, so the next one, this is a Conqueror specific one, is, there we go, Normie is demonstrating it, the Zone. Zone has 100 MS startup for superior block. You can't parry anymore, you can't parry with it anymore, but it does, if you do it on the right timing, it's gonna hit him even if he's got heavy, and I think if you storming tap, you can sometimes block it, although it depends if he's like ready for it. And it's very safe. It doesn't do much damage, but you're going to be only taking a heavy parry if he parries it. So you can do it from chain. So if you get even if you get hit by a heavy, you can still zone and beat the next one. Just in general, this against his Raiders heavy opener mix-up, the fact that you've got this zone, it obviously doesn't work against unblockables, but this zone means that you come out on top in terms of damage on average by a small amount, because he's not doing, the only damage that he's getting from hitting you is very low. Yeah. Basically, the zone is still a very strong defensive move, even though you can't parry with it anymore. You can still use it as if you were going to parry. It's just you'll full block instead of parrying. So really very, very good defensive tool. Conqueror has, in this sense, a very good matchup against Raider, because he's got his dodge bash, which is fairly low risk, he's got his zone to punish the heavies, he can use it even in chain, he's got full block from neutral. Just generally, the only thing, you want to be careful that when you release the zone, unless you feint it, you're going to be in recovery, which makes it quite easily punished there. So this is Conk's unique.
That because this matchup is not favorable to Conk in any way, shape, or form.
Well, especially if the Raider can react to
it's not favorable to Conk.
I mean, it's a strong defensive tool.
Conk has good defensive tools against Raiders' offense, but he does not win the 1v1.
Yeah, okay, well, fair enough.
But nobody does.
Nobody does. Well, yes, there's no positive matchups with Raider at like the highest level, but doesn't mean that you individually can't beat a Raider in a 1v1 if you're playing this character. Or if you're playing any character, it's possible to beat all of them. Any character can beat Raider. You just have to work a little bit harder than normal. But Conk, it has one of the best matchups against him. So, moving on from Conqueror, now want to talk about your regular dodge attacks. So if you could switch Normie, I'd like you to switch to.
I think Kyoshin the best.
Yeah, okay, switch to Kyoshin, because I think this is quite a nice he has Kyojin has like an additional tool which allows you to, which I guess we can demonstrate with the.
Okay, let me talk a bit. So overall, I think out of every option you will have to deal with Raider offense, the best one will be a dodge attack, a side dodge attack. And I say that because I mean I'm going to show you here in a second. But obviously there are some dodge attacks that don't work that well. Like for example Zanhu's dodge attacks. First of all, to actually dodge anything with them, you have to dodge really late, which you're gonna see what that means soon. Not to mention that inputting the dodge attack will cancel your iframes, stuff like that. Okay, so Kyoshin has a very standard dodge attack, very standard
Yep.
across the board. Most characters that have a dodge attack will be closer to this than any of the other more unique dodge attacks. It's a 300 MS into the dodge. Is what like 600?
It's 533 MS attack. So
5 indicator.
no, the indicator is 433 because it's a 533. I guess it's not technically like the most standard one would be Griffin essentially.
That's on
We
my
don't talk
heavy.
about Griffin dodge attack because Griffin's dodge attack is completely unusable.
That's on my heavy. Yeah, that's
But-
attack. Sorry.
Yeah. So dodging with it mean you're not going to be punished a huge amount. Raider, if you carry on chaining Raider and you change your heavies,
Yep.
oh well, Normie's getting ahead of the class. But yeah, just throw your dodge attack and just don't do anything afterwards, Normie, or chain into a light or something.
Yeah, I can just continue.
So this is obviously the thing that people struggle with Raider with their dodge attacks is if you dodge attack and immediately input something afterwards, you're likely to eat a chain heavy, and this works obviously against his storming tap as well because he can chain from his storming tap into his into a hyper armored heavy as well. So you have to be careful to not trade with Raider if you're just throwing dodge attacks. But what you can do for many characters is you can dodge attack and then just wait and block his armored heavy. So it depends on the character and the recovery on the dodge attacks. Some of them are slower than others. So if I remember correctly, Peacekeepers, I just tested these recently. So
Yeah,
Peacekeepers, Valkyries, Nabushi, and Hitakiri, Griffin, and Shaolin, all of them cannot block his side hyper armored heavy. I guess it depends how early into the dodge you go. With Kyoshin, you can not only just like block it, but you can also go into full block as well to actually punish that, and also punishes his storming tap. So this gives Kyoshin is a nice defensive tool, makes his dodge attack a lot more versatile on account of being able to go into the full block afterwards. Aramusha's does a similar thing, and Orochi has again similar thing because he can dodge cancel his dodge attack and avoid the hyper armor thing. What you do need to be careful of if you throw a dodge attack and then just wait to block his chain heavy is that the Raider can sometimes soft feint his chain heavy into a guard break and you'll still be in recovery to guard break. So if you go like dodge one and then chain and then soft feint to guard break and just try and block it. Oh, don't throw a heavy because obviously
I
There we go.
cover everything.
could you?
No, you can't. Basically,
okay.
Well, with Kyoshin in particular, he has again not a winning matchup objectively against his character, but one of the better matchups because defense is a mind game or a gamble for both sides. Nobody can react to it. Because for example, if I dodge the neutral heavy and he chains up with hyper armor, I either all guard, but he can also I can all guard after I do my dodge attack, but then he can just feint into guard break. I can predict that he's gonna feint into guard break and dodge attack and then do an all guard light. I can
Throw a heavy.
predict and throw heavy. I can dodge attack and bash to interrupt his things. I can just block. I can just stay in the all guard. I can even go in the all guard and go back out to bait something out. It's
Oh yeah, dodge attack into bash is really nice. Like, what does that even really lose to?
I mean, it gets hit by everything. It's just that if
Oh,
he
I
faints
see.
into
Yeah.
guard break, if he
Okay.
faints into guard break, he's gonna get bashed out of it.
Yeah.
It's something you
So-
have to do on Ruse.
Yeah, these are reads for both characters. But something before we carry on moving on to like specific things of particularly Kyoshin, obviously his going to his full block is really nice and other things. There's a few scenarios where you cannot dodge attack Raider. So if you get hit by, and this is true of every dodge attack that has 300 ms dodge startup. So that is Kyoshin. I'll go from the top actually because there's a lot of them.
Just say who it's not, because that's easier.
Okay,
for
who
now.
it's not? Yeah, that's a good point. Who it doesn't? This doesn't apply to
Orochi,
Berserker, Orochi, Shaman, and Aramusha, and Tiandi's Dodge Light. But everybody else this applies to. Start off, Stag, if you hit him with a heavy opener and then soft feint your second one into a guard break, normally you try and dodge attack,
Cannot.
you will not be able to. So, not from blocked, not from hit. So if you bear this in mind, don't think that your dodge attack can beat all of the options if you're in medium hit stun. What this doesn't apply to is the chain zone. Oh, sorry, the neutral zone into anything, because the neutral zone chain link is really slow. So if you get hit by the neutral zone and then dodge attack, he can't soft feint to guard break and catch you. That's gonna
really
be fine.
tight. It's really tight.
Mm.
Because you're gonna see, I'm buffering my stuff now.
I should stop doing that, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like it's very very tight, but
Yeah.
it is safe as long as the dodge attack character buffers everything.
Yeah. So obviously, if you delay your dodge attacks, so the characters that have delayable dodge attacks like Kensei and Aramusha and so on, if they and this also applies to dodge bashes as well. So we could, I guess, covered it with Conqueror. If you basically you cannot dodge attack after being hit by his chain heavy. It's gonna still beat. It will beat the if he throws a heavy and throws storming tap. So it beats two of the options, but it doesn't beat feint to guard break. So
Basically, to shorten it for you, if you get hit by a heavy, hit or block a heavy, you're narrowed down to blocking or parrying.
I mean, you can dodge attack if
You
you
can
think he's going to
dodge,
throw. If you think
but-
he's not going to feint to guard break. But
It defeats the purpose of how safe a dodge attack is against Raider. So
yeah, it turns from being like covering all three options into covering just
yeah,
two of
that
the
is
options.
why dodge attacks are so good against Raider. They cover absolutely every option except for feint to parry, which for this character is the best for Kyoshin because his dodge attack is a heavy parry. In the
Yeah.
worst case scenario, you eat 12 damage.
I mean, you can also. I mean, not against Kyoshin because his dodge attack is because he can fast flow into his full block. But for many characters, if you dodge attack, the Raider can also punish that with a dodge attack of his own, so he can punish a 15 damage. So if you're playing, I don't know, Hitakiri, he can dodge.
Even with this, he can if he buffers it.
Oh, okay, if he buffers it, yeah. All right. So I mean, it's slightly more damage, but it's not that much really. So,
But the Raider has to react really fast.
yeah.
Has to be
Yeah.
basically waiting for it. Unless
And of course, if you have that option there, that also means that the Raider has to feint to neutral. And if he's feinting to neutral, he's not carrying on his offense. That's all of his options are stopped by feinting to neutral. So that's a pretty important thing to do. And I guess again, when you're making reads about these things, to keep all this stuff in your mind at once is quite a lot of work. And the important thing is to stay calm and essentially try to think about the options you have and treat each
And-
mix-up individually rather than panicking and just being like,
Play
oh, he's hitting me.
against Raider. So many people, I did Raider, I'm just gonna dodge. The more you play
You're
against Raider,
Raider. What do I
the more you play against Raider, the better you're gonna get at defending yourself against them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna win by going away from every fight. You only win by fighting him over and over again and getting as much practice as you can as you go
Oh yeah,
on.
You said we're gonna cover team fights, but I mean, when are we gonna do that?
I'm gonna do team fight stuff.
We should
near
also
the end.
cover Orochi
I was
at
mostly
some point.
focusing on just like the basic moveset stuff
Okay,
today.
then
I'm not
since
aiming
it's
at
just
team high.
Since just a small tip, I'll just give it here.
All right.
When you're playing 4v4s or 2v2s or whatever, just not 1v1, a game mode where you can lock onto different people, I highly recommend locking onto somebody else and dodging away.
Yeah.
You're avoiding, as long as you didn't eat an attack beforehand, you are avoiding every option in his moveset, period.
Yeah. But you do have to make sure you don't early dodge away from his zone, because that thing has crazy good tracking. You can be walking away from him and then dodge at the right timing. If you early dodge...
The character, obviously, because if you're Shigoki, yeah, you have to dodge at the right timing, which in itself means that you will be caught by the guard break. But if you're playing Raider, if you're playing Zerg, Assassins,
you could...
with big dodges, you can dodge at any timing and you'll be like 8 miles away from him in no time.
Maybe his chain zone, but the neutrals one has like really good range. I've seen the neutral one catch even
Neutral one
Raider
also has,
side dodging.
Stupid good tracking. The neutral one, okay, so if you have a really good dodge, so example Raider / Berserker, you can get away from the chain zone pretty easily externally. On the other hand, if you're dealing with the neutral zone, no matter what character you are, if you're close to, if I'm this close, but I'm locked onto somebody else, so just imagine there's somebody else that I'm locked onto, and I want to dodge away, I have to dodge in the latest timing because Raider's neutral zone has absolutely insane tracking.
Yeah.
Of course. I won't be able to show it because I don't have anyone to.
Well, I mean, you can invite me if you want to. If you want to.
It's not big enough.
Yeah,
we have to go off training though.
Yeah. Of course, when you are externally guarding against a Raider, you have other options as well. So, if we're talking on Kyoshin here and he's throwing his regular heavy, you can, if you parry on one timing, it's going to parry the heavy and the storming tap. So you can parry on one timing and only have to worry about feint to guard break. If your allies near you, then hopefully they'll be paying attention. They can peel for you, so it's quite a safe parry. You can use a crushing counter and be really, really safe against the Raider. Like if you externally crushing counter against regular heavies, you're going to be crushing countering storming tap and the heavy and beating feint to guard break, and he can't parry the light anyway because it's not locked onto him. So that's super safe. When you are externally guarding against a character, you have a lot more options. So, well, it's more that the opponent has fewer options and that your options cover more things. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything more I really wanted to mention on Raider, because his one is... it is worth... I think we talked about which dodge attacks you can use to... there's one more. Yeah, can you switch over to Shaman, just because...
By the way, we've talked for 1 hour about Raider, but we're going to talk about Orochi too, right?
Yeah, we're going to.
That's why I was thinking you should hurry it up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be making a more extensive video that goes through each character in turn, beef bash bosh, and covers their options, like a kind of listy kind of thing. Shaman I just want to mention because of her deflect, and I mean her dodge attack is also really good because you can block afterwards as well.
Oh, I know what you're going to make me showcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If you want ready to go, guys, listen to this.
What?
Trust me, if you want Reddit gold, you need to listen to this.
Yeah. This if you do this in a match and record it and then post it, you're guaranteed to get karma. You might even get Reddit gold as well. You can turn this into a career on YouTube if you put some generated voice over it as well.
A Reddit internet point career, yeah.
I'm not happy to showcase this, but wait.
Alright, so basically Shaman can dodge cancel her deflect, so you can deflect one heavy attack or a storming tap and then deflect the next one. So if you go storming tap and then into side heavy, for example, or whatever,
do storming tap into side heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, well I dodged too early. It used to be I'm gonna mention this real quick. Before the standardization of recoveries and stuff, it used to be a perfectly fixed timing where you didn't even have to bother dodging on deflect timing every time. You could just spam dodge and it'd be the perfect timing for the deflect. They changed that, and now you actually have to dodge on the right timing. So,
But yes, you can deflect, and even if you miss the deflect, I mean, like what happens?
you
You
get
just-
the dodge attack.
yeah, you can go. You can if you press zone, you can dodge attack instead of deflecting. But if you do that, you get all 3 deflects in one go. You get to look like a boss, and the raider feels outskilled and probably rage quits because that's what they all do. And I guess you can post it to Reddit and get loads of karma. So
Did I get some karma too?
exactly.
Can I have some karma too as the raider, please?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, if you're raider, then you're a filthy spammer, and so
Fair.
you automatically lose.
Yeah, I deserve that fight
Orochi
for being a spammer,
is
yeah.
very safe to do that as well, because Orochi can dodge cancel it. Obviously, unfortunately, Orochi's deflect beats hyper armor now, so you can't get multiple Orochi deflects, but you can get multiple Orochi dodge attacks, which actually does more damage than just one deflect.
Wait,
So if you
please do a stunning tap into buffered heavy into stunning tap.
Mm-hmm. No. Okay.
Okay. I meant stunning tap out of the follow up heavy.
Okay. Like that.
Okay, do it again.
you can deflect that. It's on the same timing as the other one. In fact, you can just
Okay.
do this over and over and over again.
Yeah, this is a fixed timing. So if you want to do this,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about anything.
No. No.
Of course, you get it by the side heavy, so it's not
yeah.
really as safe.
What you have to worry about is me messing up, yeah.
And soft feint to guard break will, of course, catch your deflect attempts. You can carry on doing that forever and ever. If the raider is spamming storming tap against you, that's your answer.
He's
that.
spamming. He's
Yeah,
spamming.
if he's literally
look at him
spamming, then you get a free win. Even you don't have to parry anything. Okay, we've talked about Raider. Let's move on to Orochi.
I parried
It's
that.
swap time.
I parried that. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. You and your crazy reactions.
Okay, so Stag, you'll go Orochi again. And Normie, I would like you to go Warden, please.
You're the one.
Yeah, I know, right?
Na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Exactly. There's a reason I want to talk about. So, part of the reason I want to bring Warden in is because people will go, okay, he's not got a dodge attack, so you can't deflect it, but you. Actually, no. Well, I'm not. Let's not get ahead of myself. We'll talk about the universal stuff first. All right. So, Orochi, the character with the finger quotes unpunishable kick. If anybody tells you the kick is unpunishable, they are lying and wrong. So, yes, the kick can very much be punished, and actually, for many characters, even if you can't react between his storm rush and the kick, which is the main thing that is possible to react, you can actually get positive. Just a few good reads will put you ahead against this character. Okay, so obviously, if you go for a kick and if you dodge a kick and then he tries to, actually no, let's talk about quickly. The first thing, the main mix-up is between the kick, the forward dodge light, and storm rush. So if you dodge the kick, well, then you will eat storm rush if you can't react to the difference between the two of them. If you are on PC and you have good reactions, you could train yourself to react to the difference between storm rush and his kick / forward dodge light, because they do have quite distinct animations.
There are currently 3 players in the game who can consistently, I'd say, above 95% of the time, completely delete Orochi and turn Orochi into a D tier character in 1v1s. And yes, I'm being serious. Everybody seems to think that Orochi is the best character at the moment, especially medium MMR and below, because he, in a lot of ways, is more spammy than Raider.
Yeah.
And also, the community just loves Raider. So, but for me, I can easily just react to the kick. Also, if you have static guard, you also get a big bonus.
Yeah,
But
so
the main mix-up, the most effective mix-up, is supposed to be just between kick and dodge forward life, because Storm Rush has a bunch of startup, and then the indicator is 533.
no, the indicator's the indicator is 366, so it's slightly less than a normal
Okay, do Storm Rush
500
from any side.
What am I
Storm Rush
supposed
from
to-
any side.
Storm Rush.
That's not Storm
That's
Rush.
Riptide Strike.
It can't be 366. I refuse to believe it's 366. It's
I mean, a regular 500 ms light is 400 ms, so it's one frame
no,
less.
but no. They switched it to 600 ms attack with.
Yeah, the
hidden-
attack 600 ms, but the indicator it was meant to be 400 ms, but it's 366. So it's
Yeah,
slightly.
That's,
Okay,
That's
well-
actually what I can confirm too, in terms of what other people say as well. It's a 366.
Well, I mean, I
indicator.
measured it, so yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
indicator is
of course.
366.
I do apologize for that.
So yeah, but we're not going to for the purposes of this exercise, we're not going to assume that you are a super reactive player, that you can distinguish between the animations of any of these things. We're going to assume that you're like me, slowpoke, or you're on console and you can't react to this, and every time the Orochi dodges forward, it's a full-on mix-up. So the mix-up in this case, if you can't react to things, up between the kick, it's forward dodge light and storm rush. So if you dodge on, like, well, this is the good thing about having a static guard character, but yeah, if you do mix up the kick and the storm rush, for example, don't use the dodge light just yet. I guess you can also kick into but if you early dodge the kick, you'll be able to counter guard break. So yeah, the mix-up is really between storm rush and kick. And something you can do with every character is you can, on reaction to seeing his forward dodge, full stop, you can light attack him, and that will beat Storm Rush. So if you can't react to Storm Rush indicators, which I know a lot of people struggle with, and I struggle with, just light attack him. If you see his forward dodge, light attack, and then it becomes a 50-50 between the kick and the dodge light, or the Storm Rush. So of the two things to do, this is probably my biggest recommendation, is that if you think he's going to Storm Rush, don't try and necessarily react to the direction, just light attack him. It's going to hit him out of the Storm Rush every time, pretty much. The only time when you can't interrupt a Storm Rush is if he's landed a heavy attack. So if he lands a top heavy and then buffers a Storm Rush afterwards, your light will not interrupt him.
No, oh yeah. Okay.
You need to do
Forward one. You got to do the forward one. The back one you can always interrupt.
I can't. What the heck?
That's dodge and then heavy attack.
You're that bad.
Oh,
You're that bad.
that's what do you mean? Look, I'm a bit rusty.
That's okay.
I don't think. Okay, man.
I literally can't buffer it. It's impossible for me to press. Yeah, that's. You mean
I mean,
that's?
basically,
that's
if
what it
you
looks
don't
like when
have-
it's buffered.
When you don't have
Okay.
silent fingers, you get hit.
No, I'm doing it properly. I swear.
Yes.
Yeah. You're believing
It's
me.
okay. If you
I
want to,
can tell.
we can swap over, and if you don't play Orochi very much, then it does take a little bit of getting used to. But essentially, if you I've seen clips of people getting like storm rushed over and over again, and all they have to do is press light attack once, and that will have beat them. So you can go on a stag, spam storm rush, do it. Be like the character at the beginning of you can change your guard into any direction if you want to. Normie, oh no, Normie can't block storm rush because he's plays on console now. What's he ever gonna do?
He's plays on console. What an excuse, yeah.
Whamp. There we go. If you think he's gonna, if you see a forward dodge, basically, yeah, it's 50-50. Is he gonna storm rush? Press light attack. If so, something that I guess the next thing to cover is the forward dodge light. Obviously, if you press a light attack, you can't interrupt the forward dodge light unless, of course, you've got crushing counter. Again, Normie's getting ahead of me. But you can side dodge if you're a static guard character whose guard doesn't move on dodge. So that is every static guard character except Conqueror, Black Prior, Kensei, Tiandi, and Janhu. You can keep your guard on top and dodge sideways, and that will block
Dimensional
the
guard?
dodge light. Oh, and Valk. Sorry, I forgot about Valk. Yes, my bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
Reflex guard characters can't do that, but you can dodge side, and that will block the light, and it also dodges the kick. And the only thing it'll lose to is side storm rush. This is what Normie is now demonstrating something that I was going to get to eventually. But crushing counters, if you have a crushing counter, this mix-up becomes a lot easier. Because you can just top light, and that's going to interrupt storm rush and crushing counter his forward dodge light. And the only thing he'll lose to is a kick. So then it's like a true 50-50. Do you think it's kick, or do you think it's...
Not quite that easy, to be honest, because what you're saying assumes it's all buffered. If, as an Orochi player, and yes, this is a tip for the Orochi players, if you want to get the most out of your offense, mix and match delays. So, because, for example, while I might be able to stop a storm rush with the light, I'm always going to try to buffer the light to stop it, and that will not CC if you delay basically, it depends. It's a different outcome in depending
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
delay or not.
yeah, okay. Well, if you go for a mix up like the max delay, the forward dodge light, and storm rush, and normally just like light attacks when you see movement, essentially.
Basically, I'm gonna beat the delayed dodge forward. It's gonna beat everything, but at the same time, they can also just dodge forward and parry. So it's just.
Well, obviously they can dodge forward and parry, but then that requires the Orochi to be thinking about the light attacks as an option, which they don't always do. So if you have a crushing counter light when you're dealing with Orochis, I would recommend using your top light to interrupt storm rush, because that will also crushing counter his forward dodge light on occasion if he's trying to do that one as well. So this is another way. Again, we talk all about this stuff. You're all using your options to try and minimize the number of choices you have to think about, which makes guessing correctly essentially easier. So we talked about the storm rush and the forward dodge light.
There is another thing.
Go on then.
The reason most people hate Orochi is because he can technically just go on with offense forever, right? What if I told you that if you get hit by a kick, or, well, even storm rush for that matter, if you get hit by something, they can no longer do anything afterwards and hit you out of your light to interrupt. So, I mean nothing.
Are you sure?
Yes. I mean, out of the dodge forward, infinite.
No, you have.
position-wise
If you
mixed up.
get kicked into a light, you have frame advantage into another buffered kick.
All right. Well, see, this is the problem. I'm not used to people ever buffering kicks because
Yeah.
it's really reactable.
Fair enough. So if you and this is I think that's why people actually do struggle with them, because you don't have frame advantage unless they start delaying shit into his forward dodge light or his kick. If they're buffering it and doing the kick over and over again, you can't interrupt it with a light. Obviously, if they're doing the kick over and over again, then you can punish it very easily in the as we will talk about now. So the next thing, you are a static guard character. You can dodge. You know that if you're going to storm rush, you're going to dodge. You're going to block top, and you're going to side dodge, and that'll block his light, and it will avoid the kick. And if you know that if you think he's going to storm rush instead, you can light attack to interrupt him. What are you going to do to punish the kick? Because everybody's going on, oh, you've dodged it now, I can't punish the kick. Well, luckily, it involves the same button as before. So we're going to do the same thing. Again, kick, and you can stag will chain into a light attack or into another kick. And what Normie is going to do is dodge and then press light attack immediately. You have to buffer it, Normie, so...
I mean, if I'm reacting to the kick, I don't think I can do it.
Oh, well, don't react to kick. Just
Don't react to kick.
yeah, just do it on reads at the moment. So we're being read gamers today. You can dodge and you can light attack. If you do it at the right timing, then it will hit the Orochi before he can deflect it. Or sorry, after his deflect ends, before he can interrupt you with a light attack as well. And also, if he then just tries to do a side dodge, so stag, if you dodge and then immediately side dodge, and then normally you just dodge on side light, not dodge attack, just dodge and then kick and then dodge.
Kick and dodge.
And then dodge.
Okay, wait, I didn't dodge it.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you do that correctly, the light can sometimes track it. Side lights will work sometimes. It might be the opposite side light.
It
depends on the character.
characters, yeah. Like,
that side or light will
Warden
work.
has really bad tracking on his.
Okay, well, you can zone instead. That'll work same as, and it'll hit him out of his dodge. So if you're one of these characters, like again, it depends on the tracking of the lights. Some characters with side lights will not be able to hit. Some with side lights will.
Yeah, by the way.
Centurion, for example, has very good hitbox on his side light, so that will catch the dodge.
Centurion, JJ.
JJ, Black Prior, a number of characters. To be honest, actually
Can I
have.
just point something out?
Yeah.
In case anybody is wondering, the reason why I can the reason why I can dodge here is because Orochi has a recovery cancel. Now, Nami, do what you just did. Zone when I try to dodge. Yeah, if I try to wait until wait for Nami's zone, I can't dodge anymore because my recovery window, my recovery cancel window expired. It worked there because Nami delayed it. I can't dodge that.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to dodge,
I'm in
cancel,
recovery.
you need to buffer it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. So this is why. So basically, we're moving on now to punishing the kick, and the most reliable option for this that I personally think the most reliable option is dodge and then buffer a light attack, because this is going to be too slow for him to deflect. It's going to be fast enough to hit any of his chaining options, so it's going to hit him out of his light attack or his heavy attack if he tries to go for that instead. You can use it. You can also, like with Warden, you can use a zone. It depends a little bit. You generally don't want to switch guards to do it. So
I mean,
it's a bit hard to combine with the top light if you're guarding top, because if you guard top and then actually with the zone is fine because there's no guard switch delay. So you can with Warden block top and then zone, and then that will like come out at the same speed. Of course, you can parry. Something to note: Orochi's guard always goes top. So if the opponent is just buffering his punish during a dodge, it's most likely going to come top. So if you struggle to parry 500 ms lights, I would recommend just parrying the top on that makes it easier. You get bullied if you do that, because if he throws a heavy, it's a little bit harder. If the Orochi goes for the kick, whiffs the kick, and then tries to do a side light, that comes out very slightly slower, which means that if you dodge, it gives you a bit more opportunity to dodge and dodge top and then do a side light if you're a character that's got good side light hitboxes. The only thing that the Orochi can do in this, so we're going to go back to the zone attack thing. You're going to dodge and then zone attack. The only thing that Orochi can do that avoids the zone attack here, buffer it. The only thing that Orochi...
It's hard to dodge on such a bad timing.
Fair enough. Well, just dodge when you see his dodge and then do it. Obviously, if you are capable of reacting to 500 bashes, then this stuff isn't as helpful, but then, that's okay, you can react to it anyway, so it's not really mixed up anyway. There we go, that's the only thing that the Orochi can do to counter that, is to buffer a dodge light. Well, we all know what happens if he buffers a dodge light.
Yep, that's what happens.
There we go, and gets light parried. So basically what you've done is, yes, you're not necessarily always punishing the kick, but instead what you've done is you turned it into a 50-50 where the options are either he eats a light attack or he gets light parried. So you're very much in favor in this scenario, and every character can do this. You don't have to have a dodge attack, you don't have to have any other special tools. If you dodge and then light attack, you're basically forcing the Orochi into a 50-50 of do I do a dodged light, or do I just eat a light attack?
Hang on. There's there's a person in chat.
Let's look at that.
Yeah. You're saying you have not enough you don't have many options to counter Orochi. Well, that's kind of the point for Orochi being that strong, right?
So this stuff about a pro Orochi will predict your prediction and just win. I mean, that's the same with any character doing anything. Like this isn't a session for complaining about, oh no, can't do this.
No.
You
Listen. It's not even that complicated.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as somebody predicting your prediction. It just ends up being.
Then you made a
minding
bad
yours.
prediction. Yeah.
Yeah, you made a bad prediction.
Bad read, yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as somebody predicting your prediction. They're making a read on what they think you're gonna use, but if you did use that, then you're just readable, and you should use something else because it's not like it's the only thing you can use to punish Orochi.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like Raider where if you want to stop his chain, you literally have to take a risk and parry.
Yeah, if you dodge, then like no one's psychic. Like okay, like I'm not gonna read through all these comments and stuff. I'm just keep on chugging along with this stuff. So yeah, basically, if you wait instead, if you dodge and then wait instead of just going immediately into light attack, you also have the option to parry his light attack if he throws a light attack after the kick as well. So that's a lot of damage too. It's just, that's what I say in terms of turning this. You want to minimize the options you have to worry about. Dodging into light attack or dodging into doing nothing and waiting to parry is probably the best option in terms of cutting down the number of things that you have to think about.
Basically, to sum up, if you want to maximize your defense potential against Orochi, you need to keep a few things in mind. That is, this is assuming you're the average hero, which means static guard and no funny guard disappearing during dodge. So with a few exceptions, you should just keep your guard top at all times, and dodge the kick. Even if you can't react to it, just dodge the kick. You're gonna block the light, and if you see him going into Storm Rush, while most people won't be able to react to the indicator of Storm Rush, it has a big long startup, and you can see them go into Storm Rush and prepare for the read. So, again, summed up, guard top, keep it there, and try to pay attention to what's happening on your screen. If you dodge the kick and there's a light that comes out, you will block it. You'll take 3 damage? 2?
If that 2, I think. It's 12 damage light, dodge light, so it's not very much chip. No, it's 3 damage chipped. So
yeah, so
not much.
That's what you want to do. And here's the thing: Orochi is a 120 HP hero. Off of 1 light parry, you get an average of 24 damage, which is a lot considering you take him from 120 to 96.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We will. I guess the next thing to do now is we're going to cover some characters that can punish that where you don't have to use these universal punishes, which will instead have their own unique tools. So I guess the first one we're going to go to is let's go to Blackbriar again because I like talking about Blackbriar. Blackbriar has crazy good option against Orochi. Unlike Raider, where you're going to be losing to Feint to guard break, if the Orochi is just doing his basic options and not just forward... Oh, Stag's dropped out of the lobby, has he?
I see.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just back on getting. But yeah, there's characters that have a lot of good options, BP being one of them. Raider. Okay, I forgot to mention. There's characters with dodge attacks that completely counter his offense.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I just wanted to do the Blackbriar one first because Blackbriar is the character that has a move which doesn't work like all the other dodge attacks do. So is Stag just dropped out fully? Okay, well, you can invite me in case. Oh, it's Stag's streaming, isn't he? Didoi. All right, you have to invite Stag. I'm an idiot.
There's actually a little reference that I wanted to post up at the dojo voice text thing because I feel like a common complaint that I keep seeing a lot, especially on Reddit, is this assumption that because Orochi's kick is a 500 MS bash, it should follow certain trends that 500 MS bashes should have. Like they say, once you've already made a correct read of dodging, then it should be punishable. Like the standard punish that you have for all 500 MS bashes, for the most part. So people get this assumption.
But that assumption is false. I mean, There's not a standard punish for all 5-minute smashes because not all characters have dodge attacks, and if you dodge attack some of them, you're going to be they'll be able to block them anyway. You can't always dodge into guard break even then the idea that I made one read, therefore I get punish every time is like just doesn't exist, and it's like it's not existed in the game for ever. There's always been moves that have had things where you have to make multiple reads in order to punish, and let's face it, the Orochi doesn't get a huge amount of damage from the kick. He gets 13 damage, which is I mean, it's fine. Like, he doesn't have stamina pause, doesn't do any stamina damage itself. It's costing the Orochi 21 stamina to no, it's more than that. It's 24 stamina to kick into light, because he's got the kick itself it costs 15, and then his light attack costs 9. He can do it 6 times before he puts himself out of stamina, which is 6 lights. It's not actually that much damage. So the reason I think people get overwhelmed is because he does them all very fast, and then they're not thinking, and I've dodged it once, now I'm not. Yeah. I'm being spammed.
That's succinctly put. I agree with that. That's the reason why I think on the dojo voice text I want to put a reference, because I want to show that, you know, in other similar games, you know, other fighting games, we've had these kinds of characters have existed before, where just because you made a correct read on one part doesn't mean you're going to always
we don't
get the
talk
guaranteed
about
punish.
other fighting games because this
It's like BP.
This barely even
Anyway, sorry, let's go back to the Black Prior himself, though. Okay, so before we go on to other dodge attacks, which there are I think I want to say 6 dodge attacks that allow you to punish.
Hurry up because we're running out of time.
Oh yeah, jeez. Okay, well, so basically, if you're playing Black Prior, you can go into Bulwark on reaction to his forward dodge and then flip all of his options out of it. In fact, if you do it late enough, there's one timing that covers all of them. But in general, you can actually, when you are in full block, it's 100 ms reaction to start up the counter. So basically, well, you can go ahead and start doing the mix-up if you want to. Stag, Norm is going to go into full block as soon as he sees Stag move, and then he's going to press light attack when he sees the option that's coming out. And that, if you do it, like, especially, you have to be prepared to do it kind of at a late timing, because then that'll get the Storm Rush. But if you do it the right time, you can also actually, I mean, it's a bit confusing. If you have to do it super late, and you can actually flip Storm Rush at the same time as well, if they buffer it.
Flip all 3 options, it is a tight timing. Like super tight timing that you will not be able to get down consistently. And
I think you practice it, you can get it consistently.
People won't just be sitting in all guard.
No, but the point is you go into all guard when you see him move forward, and then that allows you to then make the reaction on the different things. So BP, as well as having the crushing counter we mentioned beforehand, which allows you to light attack and interrupt Storm Rush, and the forward dodge light, crushing counter forward dodge light, you can also flip. And the only thing that then Orochi gets here, you can use the forward dodge heavy if you want to get banned from the competitive gaming scene, apparently. The only thing that Orochi can do here is dodge and then go into guard break, which obviously will catch you and does a certain amount of damage, but like most Orochis in matchmaking aren't going to be doing that, and it punishes all of his options directly for a lot more damage than he can do himself, so it's good. In other words, but everybody knows Black Prior can counter everything, so we will switch off Black Prior, switch to a different character.
What about Highlander?
I mean, Highlander, he's crushing counter light, so he can use that against Storm Rush and the dodge light. He doesn't have dodge attack himself, obviously, but you can still use the dodge into light attack, and Highlander's lights have quite a good hitbox, and they will hit his dodge as well. So, go Zerka in this one.
I was gonna say, does the grab or kick mean anything?
Not when the
No, you don't want to be using that grab or kick against anybody with a dodge attack. We're here really only talking, like, I don't know, it works against some dodge attacks that don't have very good iframes.
We're talking defensively here.
Yeah, we're talking defense here, so not how are you going to attack these characters, like, because the way you attack them is the same as always. I mean, if you're playing Orochi's only real defense is a dodge light, which is highly punishable. So if you're using Highlander, you want to feint, you're unblockable heavies until they stop dodge lighting, and then you can start doing other things instead. So yeah, kick, and then delay a side dodge undodgeable light, and this is going to hit every single option the Orochi has. He will not be able to dodge attack, he will not be able to deflect it because it's too late. If he sits there and just waits, he's going to hit it. If he goes into, he changes to a light, he's going to get hit out of it. Berserker and Orochi can... Yeah.
This depends a bit because it depends like how hard you pre-dodge. Because if you buffer a kick, hold on, let me switch my stuff too. If you buffer a kick and I dodge attack on movement, you're gonna be able to deflect it.
Yeah. But if you wait and then delay long enough... Well, yeah, if you dodge it. Yeah, if you do that, but
Kick.
you got to kick and then deflect it.
You buffer the dodge attack. There you go.
There we go.
Basically, okay, if you can react to the kick, this is confirmed 100% of the time with no exceptions. That was buffered right there, but if I delay it, not even to the fully, just like halfway through, I'd say, he will not be able to do anything because it's undodgeable, so he can't dodge it, and it's late enough to where it doesn't hit in deflect frames.
Yep. So in this one, you want to be, even if you're making predictions, you want to be holding your input and dodging late on the kick. So because that allows you to get hit this delay window where you can no longer deflect your attacks easier. So that is in general the option. So Berserker can do this, Orochi can do this, and in general, characters that have delayable dodge attacks, or in fact just most dodge attacks if you dodge late enough, even non-delayable dodge attacks like Kyoshins and Griffins, if you are dodging the kick late enough, the Orochi can no longer deflect your dodge attack.
I mean, thing is, okay, so Kyoshin's a special case because
yeah, we'll get on to Kyoshin in a second. He's one of the ones.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'm just talking about other dodge attacks that are not undodgeable. So characters like Shaman, you can delay it. You can delay them into the window where the Orochi can no longer deflect. But even if you don't have a delayable dodge attack, if it's quite a slow one, like Griffins, like I mentioned, the only thing he's going to be able to do is to be able to dodge it or to be able to do a buffer dodge attack, which of course
is unlucky because it will hit. You cannot block it or anything because Griffin's dodge attack has 4 minutes of recovery.
Yeah. So even in those cases, I actually think it's better to do the dodge and then do a neutral light, because whilst the Orochi, because it basically gives the Orochi less stuff to react to, because if he sees you doing a dodge attack, the Orochi can react and then do his dodge light, and then will punish your dodge attack, even though on reaction. But if you do the dodge into light, he can't do that realistically, because he'll be after the window where he can make his reaction. The next one we want to go to, well, Kyoshin does the same, but it's best, we've already looked at Kyoshin, so you go to Aramusha instead.
With Kyoshin, we don't need to look at it. It's just a buffer timing. There's nothing special about it.
But you can dodge late enough that the buffered timing is not deflectable.
Yeah, if you react to the kick, it's confirmed.
Yes.
To where
So
you can't dodge it, despite it being dodgeable, a dodgeable attack, they cannot dodge it and they cannot deflect it if you react to the kick. Which one did you say?
Aramusha. Oh, I thought you liked Aramusha.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering how every character you maybe play is a rep 70 character for me.
Because you're a maximum gamer, you use so many of the 4 dodge heavies on Blackbriar. How many reps do you think you've got out of 4 dodge heavies normally?
I think I used it maybe like less than 10 times in 70 reps. And that's not going over the top. I mean, that's for real. Because I can't even use it for chase because it's just so shit.
Yeah, it's not very good at chase, but it's actually quite good defensively. So I like people having to think about that. So Aramusha can do his. We've had the same thing as before. You're going to delay your dodge attack so that it can no longer be deflected, and the Orochi has to do a buffer dodge light. Boop, full block, full recovery cancel. So Janhu can do this. Kyoshin can also do it with the full block. Other characters can do similar things, but with dodge cancels instead. So Orochi can do this, and then it's already undodgeable. But if you used your, let's say, use Riptide Strike, you can also then dodge recovery cancel that and crushing counter it and deflect it. If you're playing Janhu, you can use your dodge attack and then dodge cancel your dodge to crushing counter the light attack from the dodge light from the Orochi as well.
With Janhu, it's hard because it's hard timing, but it works.
Yeah, but it does work. So, so these characters that are countering it now, we've got Black Prior, Aramusha, Kyoshin, Orochi, Berserker, Janhu, and I suppose. So there was recently knocking around. Somebody was saying that Nobushi could punish it, but this is not true. I've done testing, and Nobushi, I don't know what they posted, why they posted that. But if you go into the,
I want to test that right now, actually, because
I mean, you can if you want to, but yeah, Nobushi's has a, kind of like it just has a big chunky delay going into the, attacking before after you go into.
it's still safe.
I mean, it's safe, but it doesn't
punish, but it's safe.
Oh well, I mean, if you go
and you can punish by making a read with Sifu, not Sifu, fucking hidden stance.
Hidden stance. No, because if you go into the hidden stance heavy is too slow. The Orochi can normally actually just recover in time to block it.
I mean, yeah, but this is most Orochis will just either dodge. Okay, so if they kick into light and you hidden stance, you will either be hit by the light, or if you either make a good read or react to it, you can dodge the light as well.
Yes, you can do that. Yeah.
Or you can, if the Chiro will kick and then continue dodging, you get the big punish. So here, do a kick on me, and then just dodge to the side or something.
Yeah.
This will not happen often, but obviously 29 damage is huge.
Yeah.
Especially on Orochi.
I still think it's a bit weird one
And
because
with bleed.
well, if it's bleed, it's 35 damage, so it's big damage. But if the Orochi chains into a light, it's going to be he's going to be able to hit you out of that, or a dodge light. Actually, I think will work as well.
The reason it's safe is because I can hold on. Whatever you do, I can just dodge into it and avoid it. Yeah, I won't be able to parry it unless I just go out of. Yeah, that's the thing. But obviously, you're not gonna have every Orochi just kicking and then doing a dodge attack.
Yeah. So something that you can do with I think actually the hidden stance of the light is quite a good option. If you do,
that will get deflected though.
That can be deflected, yeah. I think you can delay it enough that they can't deflect it, but then they can just dodge it instead.
Yeah, and then if you mess up the timing, you're gonna input the double light, and that's gonna screw you over because it's very easily parable. But
yeah, I wasn't sure if they dodge your kick and then dodge your. So if you do kick and then you do your sidewinder, and then he dodges it, then you can you dodge into his light and then block dodge light and block it. So Stag, I want you to buff for a dodge light after this.
Actually,
the recovery on that is too long. It might be the dodge light might be fast enough.
Yeah, it's just that it depends on where your guard is.
Yeah, because Nobushi's guard doesn't move when she dodges.
This is the one scenario where it would help, but no.
Yeah. So other than these characters, there's one more bit that I want to do. Well, you'll need to invite me in as well because this is a 3-person job to demonstrate this one. And this is a team fighting tip, I guess, against Orochi.
I also have one against the Raider, so I need one of you to go Raider.
There's one more thing actually. Whilst you can do this before you invite me. If you go Valkyrie.
What are you trying to show?
Valkyrie's full block works really nicely against Orochi.
Disgusting.
Yep, yeah, I know, right? But you can back dodge into full block, and if you go into full block fast enough, that'll dodge the kick, block the dodge lights, block the storm rush. The only thing it doesn't directly do is punish the kick itself, but then you can punish anything that the Orochi does after the kick. So if he goes into a light, you can just parry it, you can just full block it and punish him. If he tries to do another kick, you can dodge, you can feint the full block and dodge out of his and dodge the kick again. So yeah, the Valkyrie is another one that can deal with can essentially has actually a really good matchup against
Yeah, it's a
Orochi.
special tool for Orochi, yes.
Yeah. Another one who is kind of weird that works in a bizarre way is actually Warmonger, and her dodge unblockable has a weird interaction as well, because that can't be, the Orochi can't dodge that. If they dodge attack, you can feint to parry. If they try and obviously the undodgeables hit it, but you can dodge the kick with it. It's a weird one. It's good because it forces everything the Orochi can do. Again, it's like dodge into light. It forces them to do something that can be punished with a light parry every time. So they either have to chain to a light.
Can you do dodge for light as well? Mix it up. I don't think this works.
What doesn't work? No. There is a timing where you can go into it and then immediately full block. I have tested this.
If he buffers the light, you can't do anything.
Nope, there we go. That's it.
Mean, that's the I did on prediction to dodge forward.
I delayed it, by the way.
Yeah. That's the point. It's a prediction to.
No. I'm predicting his dodge forward, not his light.
I make sure you like really buffer it.
Yes. Okay.
There you go, getting it there.
React within like 100. That's like a bash dodge reaction window. If I just dodge normally on reaction to his dodge forward, I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Like I need.
It works sometimes. It's yeah. Like I had some success doing this, but it's kind of it is a predictive thing. But like,
basically, if this can only work if you have like, if you're really focusing on it, like you would be focusing on dodging the back.
yeah. Or I guess, or if you are mixing up between these, if you're not.
Also, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Valkyrie's block goes away when she dodges backwards, like everything. But if you're mixing up, if they're not doing the forward dodge light, then and they're just doing storm rush and kick, this can deal with like all of the options of those two options. It's a bit of a weird one.
Not
it's
as
a bit
good as
scuffed.
I thought. Okay, because the thing is, he can also just delay kick and it's gonna hit me.
Yeah, it's not incredible. It just works sometimes. And again, these things we've all talking about, like ways to cover multiple options, and it can cover multiple options. So you know, it's there.
Yeah, let's get you in because we have a quarter an hour left.
All right. So this next one.
Go Raider, but
One wants to go Raider. Okay.
yeah, and one of you can go cheer because I mean that's what we need to do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at your. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I was looking at the stream that you were sending me. I was like, why can't I click anything? It's like, oh, I'm not. That's not the.
You need to be on a specific character, or I can put us in a brawl action.
I'm going. One of us needs. I want one person to be able to be a character whose guard moves when they dodge. Like.
I mean, you can play Chiro.
Rond.
I'll go. No, I'm gonna go Janhu actually.
Rond does not change.
No, Janhu, not Rond.
Somebody said Rond.
Yeah, I said.
Okay.
I said it. I was misinformed. Sorry.
Yeah. So, one person's gonna go Orochi. I think Stag, you go Orochi.
Okay. Yeah, well.
Normie, you can go Raider because that's the one that you were.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I wanted
think
one of
about?
you on Raider is so I can showcase the thing I was saying earlier as well.
Oh, you one of us on Raider. Okay, well in that case you can go Janhu. Or do you want to go Raider?
I mean, I should be alone here.
Okay, you want to be the Orochi.
I mean, wait, what are you even trying to showcase here?
We're showing how that you can neuter Orochi's external pressure in a team fight. Like, he has
Yeah.
0 external pressure. Team
Okay,
fight. If you-
but then I need to be alone. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, Noodles, get off it. Okay, I'm gonna go Jianhu. Oh, no. I'm an idiot.
You can just go Raider or Orochi.
No, yeah. Okay. So, are you? What character are you on, Normie?
I'm a Raider.
Okay, I want you to be on a character that whose guard moves when they dodge.
Which one would that be?
No, the one who's alone, who's being Noodles, for fuck's sake. I want the character who's being ganked to be like Black Prior or Jianhu, or a character whose guard moves when they dodge. So Normie, we'll back out this Normie, and then you go Jianhu.
Unless you pick your characters.
Oh, okay. Okay, shit. All right, well, whatever. Just back us out. I'll go Orochi. Stag can go Raider. You go Jianhu.
Wait, what's the best dodge? What's the hero with the best dodge whose guard changes?
Oh well, I want you to go Jianhu
Okay, I mean, I guess he has a decent dodge.
because you can also then deflect. I mean, it works for assassins as well, but they don't block in the same way. So Jianhu, because he can have a deflect, and then he has a regular block afterwards as well. We couldn't quit out this
Hello, Noodles.
character menu.
Oh.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, I just need to wait till here. Okay, there we go.
Oh god, I'm tired.
Oh, when we long to this, this is just so. This is a actually it's a good thing you got on Jianhu as well, because that can demonstrate another weird thing. Well, why it's weird, right? Stag, you going Raider? I'll go Orochi. So, normally when you are dealing with someone's external block, and they're doing a bash at you, you cannot dodge into them. So, if you're a character whose guard moves when they dodge, like Jianhu here, or Black Prior, or Tiandi, or an assassin, and you're dealing with this neutral bash on dodgeable mix-up, you have to dodge away from the character, so you're going to get hit by the undodgeable. Orochi is a weird case. Normie can dodge towards me, and you will still dodge my kick.
Wait, towards you.
Yeah, towards me. You dodge into me. This, as far as I'm aware, is the only character where this works. And it means that even characters whose guards change when they dodge, can dodge towards Orochi. And still beat the undodgeables.
Oh, that is true, yeah. Why can't you do this? Do the dodge forward right?
Well, I'm doing. The point is, you beat the undodgeables, including Storm Rush.
Yes, that's just not what I wanted to show though, but fine. Sometimes it doesn't even. There you go.
Yeah, if you Storm Rush, it doesn't deflect. It just does the crushing counter. It just does a regular block, which is why I wanted to bring Jianhu in. But basically, Orochi is a weird one, and he works the opposite to all the other characters. You want to dodge towards him in a gank.
I mean, this is very character specific, so if you're hard maining a character, then keep this in mind.
I mean, it works for other characters as well. Raider can dodge towards him. Any character can dodge into Orochi and dodge his bash, which I keep on seeing people in like team fights, even in like Dominion series stuff, dodging away from Orochi. It's like, you just don't need to do that. Or like people with playing assassins. If you're playing an assassin, you can dodge into Orochi and deflect his dodge attack, as well as his kick, and then you don't have to worry about Storm Rush. So yeah, this is a way to deal with Orochi's external pressure. And it also works off block stun. So if I was going like heavy into kick, if I was playing Kyoshin and using my chain bash here, normally would be getting hit by my kick. But Orochi, for some reason, yeah. So yeah, that's the tip that I wanted to mention for dealing with Orochi in team fights. If you, well, any character can neuter his external pressure accept assassins, where you only have to worry about Storm Rush, but the kick mix-up flat out doesn't work on static guard characters, even if their guard moves, because you can dodge into him. So yeah, what was the other bit that you want to talk about with Raider?
Come here, Stag. Both of you come here, actually.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so what I'm gonna need you to do is, Span, you're gonna just sit still, and Stag is gonna attack me. Oh no, Raider! Dodge away! Oh, okay. Yeah, that happened because Span was standing still, actually. Basically, usually you're not gonna have somebody just standing still, because what happened there is I was dodging, like, I was doing circles around Span. In an actual fight, the guy is gonna be moving. You're not gonna be dodging around someone. You're just gonna kind of be dodging, like.
Yeah, I'll just
along
move. I'll just
them.
move
like
sideways or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can show that if you do the chain zone, then and feint to guard break, that's gonna miss.
yeah, basically. Okay, that works because my character is bad, and switches guards when he dodges.
And then you got into the wall. Yeah. So yeah, Raider tips.
Basically,
again.
yeah, just dodge away from the character. Especially if you're a Raider yourself, you will never be caught, because this.
Yeah, Raider's got
Raider has
extremely long.
the best dodge in the game, to be honest, right now. Because while I think Zerk has the same dodge, Zerk's guard goes down because reflex.
There are a few characters that have as long side dodges as Raider, but yeah, most of them also have reflex guard, which obviously makes it not as good. The real thing, yeah, you can show now is that the neutral zone catches really fucking well.
If I
So-
dodge early, look what happens.
Early dodging the neutral zone is gonna get you caught.
Sorry, I forgot that wasn't training. Forgive my tiredness.
Oh yeah, so question time. Do I think that there's some changes to iframe collisions being made behind the scenes? No. I just think there's something weird going on with forward dodge bashes. And in particular, I think it's to do with Orochi. I think it's to do with how his hitbox moves. So basically, I think there might be some special code where Orochi's hitbox ends up, because his animation is so big that his like whole body ends up inside the opponent, and therefore you would be blocking iframes and working.
You're basically dodging through the Orochi's.
Yeah, you're dodging through the Orochi, so I think that's how it also means that you can like dodge into it, even if you're dodging forward. I mean, I think it's interesting. It means that characters whose guards move when they dodge aren't as disadvantaged against Orochi as you'd expect them to be, considered, like, because if you're playing like Janhu and you've got somebody else using it, like Kyoshin using a bash on dodgeable mix-up externally to you, you're still in the mix-up, whereas if you're playing a static guard character, you can guard in the direction of their undodgeable attack and just dodge away from them, and you're going to be avoiding both the dodge and the undodgeable as well. So, like, yeah, I can't really talk and play games at the same time.
Do dodge attack on me. Do dodge attack on me. I've dodged my dodge forward heavy. Too early. You're doing good. The prediction to my dodge forward heavy. This is incredible.
Well, you said dodge my forward heavy.
Okay, man. I just wanted to dodge.
Had a long one.
I know you wanted to. I'm just being
No.
toxic. So yeah.
That's
I think
the
we're
rage
gonna
quit.
Okay, so thank you much for everybody for joining us. I'm gonna like throw it to questions. If there's any other questions, ask them in the chat. I'm gonna scroll up and see if there's anything that somebody's asked, but I haven't.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to turn off the stream with only one monitor. I need
Sorry, I have to deal with.
figure
I
this
don't
out.
know if you can hear my cat. Is he yelling at me? That's part of the reason why we
Yes.
have to end this
Oh, I was
session
about
now.
to
Because...
say, is that your cat?
Noodles, is that you? Are you hungry?
Oh, she goes quiet.
Yeah, she's hungry. She's always hungry though. So let me just quickly check Dojo voice text. Why did I kill delayed dodge attacks? Because they can punish bashes on reaction and have to avoid some things. I'm not seeing any other questions. Yeah, okay. Well, why is Nusha a Sims character? Yeah, that's a question.
My Nusha, yeah, in the menu.
I don't think. I'm trying to think if Nusha has any other things. I don't think her dodge attack is too slow in regards to. When I'm sometime later this week. I mean, I was trying to get it done earlier this week, but I didn't get time to. I was too tired and getting around to it. But I'm making a it'll be a sort of more condensed, definitely more condensed version than this, but it'll be covering all the characters, like which dodge attacks you can dodge and block. Raiders, chain heavies, which dodge attacks you will get hit by it, because some of them you can, as we said earlier, dodge and block. There's quite a lot of matchup knowledge and individual matchup stuff that goes into it. All these characters. So yeah, but I think part of the if I want to take home message to go away with is when you're punishing when you're dealing with Orochi and you're dealing with his kick, most of the time your dodge attack is not your best option, and dodge into light attack is a better option. If you do it fast enough, it will always beat his chaining options, and he won't be able to deflect it. And if you and yeah, it's lower damage, but then the kick itself is kind of low damage as well. So, but you won't be able to get deflected, and it's harder for the Orochi to punish on reaction to seeing what you've done already. So, yeah, it's not unpunishable. Try and minimize. Use your moveset to minimize the options that you have to worry about, and you can have multiple things that cover multiple options. And yeah, I think that should be about it, really. I hope you will. I wish you success in dealing with Orochis and Raiders in the future. Try and stay calm because they aren't unbeatable. They just need some reads, and yeah, that's it really.
It's definitely a combination of reads and conditioning. Like I think it's
Well,
not.
that's always reads and
Yeah.
conditioning goes hand in hand. You can't have well, yeah, yes, I agree.
Okay. You're right.
It's not
I
really
do
like
apologize. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I just want to say thanks you, Span, Normie, Stag. Really thanks for the demonstrations. This
no
really helped.
worries. Thanks for coming along. Have a good evening. All right.
Thank you, good sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Also, feed
Right.
your cat.
Yes, your
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that now before she eats me. All right, bye everybody. Bye.